Welcome back to the WODprep podcast. I'm your host, CJ DePalma, with the better host, Claire Bays. What's up?
What's good?
Good morning. Slater, what's up? Kenneth, every Tuesday and Friday, every day that Claire can make it. I'm gonna come on Friday. We're gonna do
I've
Friday this week too. Man,
I've
life's
ruined the schedule. Yeah.
yeah, life. No, it's fine. Life is crazy right now. Like my schedule is your schedule's busy. My schedule is insanely busy. I have so many meetings every day right now. If I can get an extra 30 seconds of sleep, I'm gonna take it.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I have
just
calls before this. Like
you have oh geez.
I know. That's how
Okay.
crazy it is. That's how open I had to make my schedule.
Yeah.
Or I would just have like 9:30 to 3 nonstop meetings every day. So
Yeah.
and the weekends.
Well, and you're doing that through the month of September. That's the month that, right?
Yeah, through when till Ben is gone, till Ben is back, and then if it's the launch, it's calming down anyways. But it's still uh it's still a lot. But we took all of next week's calls, not all of them, but we reached out to everyone that was next week. It was like, hey, do you want to wait another week and talk to Ben? And quite a few people took him up on it. I was like,
Yeah,
yes.
we don't know that CJ. It's so funny how he is really like the face of the brand.
Hmm.
And yet you're behind the scenes doing the
Right.
most. That's funny. I mean, being at that event with you guys, he does a freaking ton. But just
Mhm.
that you're less forward facing. Which, speaking of, you had an athlete. You had one athlete competing at the adaptive games,
Yep.
is that right?
Katie. Hmm.
And she won.
She won.
She's the one
Katie's.
that went on Savon's podcast.
Yep.
She was a delight.
Yeah, she's such an interesting human. She's the best. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was super fortunate to start working with Katie. I mean, almost 3 years ago now, and she's such a cool human. Um, like just everything about who she is and her just persona and everything is she's just great. She's also a
Yeah.
physical therapist, which didn't really get brought up in light. I mean, I don't know if there's any licensed like fully clinically deaf individuals that are licensed physical therapists in the
Mhm.
States. I know there's like some physicians and things like that, but she could be the first PT that is like, or at least like clinically deaf going through PT school, right? Like
Yeah.
maybe like some older or something like that. But she's just so impressive. And it was funny. So obviously I'm a PT. And so while she was going through school, she'd reach out to me every now and then. She was really nervous about her boards. And so you take this practice exam. And so you take a lot of them through like different companies, and some are harder, some are easier, but you can really get a good gauge on like what to study, what you're lacking, etc. But then you take um, it's called a PEAT, right? And so PEAT, I can't even remember what it stands for now, but it's an old exam, and so it's kind of like the gold standard of if you pass this, you'll pass the boards, right?
Okay.
And I fucking failed mine so bad, and she got like almost a perfect score. She's like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. She was like, and I was like, shut the fuck up. I was like, get the fuck out of here. I was like, you're testing so much better
Yeah.
than me. I passed. You'll be fine. She was fine. She took it early. Anyways, so yeah, she's a stud on all accounts.
That would just be, I guess you would have gone to the adaptive portion of the games whenever it was all together at some point, right?
I went to San Antonio last year because I had two athletes competing.
Oh, okay.
And I just I'm gone 4 straight weeks in
Sure.
October.
Yep.
And I was like, I can't. The games is just such a different travel experience too, because like you got to go early, right? And then like you stay late. So it's like for me, if I can limit it, like even for Gucci's going to crash, I'm not even gonna. She's gonna be in Pensacola, and I'm not even gonna drive with them. I'm gonna fly up the next night,
Yeah, just
and
to
so
save
like,
time.
yeah, so like just to try and limit the family like schedule,
Conflict, yeah.
fuck up that I instill when I
That
leave
your
town.
existence is.
Yeah.
Well, in
Lack of
October, okay, so you
existence.
have Crash, you have Coda Iron Games, you have Affiliate Con. You said every weekend? What's the other one?
Bennett's birthday, we're camping for like 5 days.
Okay,
So
well,
it's
at
not
least
like
that's
it's
with
not work
family.
travel, but
Yeah.
like we're gone and the prep for that, right, is like just as much. Like
Mhm.
basically I'll get back from Iron Games. The next day I'll get the camper and then we'll pack it. And we don't go far. Like we go to like a local spot that's like a water park. It's like the most ridiculous campground ever. And but we love to go there. And so it's simple, but it's like, I mean, of October, I'm gone, or like I'm not in the house. I don't know, 15 days, which is wild
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah, that is a lot. For your athlete that won the adaptive games, so you said you've been working with her for 3 years.
Hmm. Yep.
What are some the unique things or like your favorite things about working with her?
Mm. So when we started working together, I mean, it's so cool, like how unassumingly intelligent she is. Like
Mm,
everyone thinks she's dumb because she can't, she can't hear, and
mm,
like she's processing things just longer and literally just taking thousands of context clues to piece together information.
mhm.
And, um, and so I know what to expect and what it is, and I really like digesting when other people are trying to communicate with her, and like hearing the stories about how much doubt she had growing up, and like how people viewed her, and it was just like, dude, she just don't even know,
Yeah.
like it's just crazy like what she's doing. So it is
Well, and it took
it's
her a
really
while,
cool.
I guess, to realize that. Yeah, like if she's thinking circles around you or whatever, she's
Hmm.
really but unaware of that about herself.
Right.
It's interesting.
um yeah, I want to answer Braden's
Yeah.
question. Did service cup work out too? um I didn't even realize that was the service cup. Some of my athletes had this in their programming. Um, Now that I see all of it, I see that Mayhem programmed it, and I have like 5 athletes that do Mayhem programming at their gym, and so they were doing it. So that makes sense. So workout two, Braden, CJ did the service cup workout two. How do you determine if you should redo for that workout specifically? So I'll share my screen.
Okay, I'm pulling it up.
Um,
Yeah.
that one, it's kind of it's hard to know like how far anyone else is going to get, but that one's pretty easy to know if you did well or not. If you put those dumbbells down at like any point in time, you probably should redo it. Like you should be unbroken, grinding through that workout
Also,
the entire
Paige
time.
looking like a unit, completely unrelated. Sorry,
Oh
but like,
yeah, dude,
go
that
Paige.
post mom growth hormone that's like running through her body is bonkers. Like everyone always says this, like, oh wow, they came back so fast. I'm like, if and it's not to say that it's easy by any means whatsoever, but they they have a little bit of a cheat code. The amount of like growth hormone and like IGF-1 that's like running through their system as a mom, potentially breastfeeding still, HCG, like it's crazy. Like if you put it to it, your body's gonna be like, yeah, I'm about to fuck this up. It's like it's real. Like if you are really training hard, like if you start to work through that and start training hard, like your body like, oh yeah, here we go. It's like on a cheat code, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, also the amount of calories you can consume and like
Mhm.
not like especially like while you're breastfeeding and like not
Sure.
actually become overweight
Yeah.
just allows the body to just fuel crazy. It's very interesting.
I love this for Paige so much.
Yeah.
She's the best. Anyway, okay, I completely stole from your train of thought on the actual workout.
Um
Sorry.
yeah, I mean, you know, if you stayed unbroken, I mean if you think you can speed up the row, like if you feel well, uh if you stayed unbroken through the nines, so you can just do like the general math, right? So like assuming a row takes a minute to transition on and off, right? And you've finished the round of nines. Um, so it means you're averaging like a minute six around, right? The entire time. Okay. So, or I'm sorry, 2 minutes and 6 seconds around, something like that. Right. So 9 rounds. Um, uh, it is, like you look at it like that. So, okay. So how long were the last bit taking you? Like how much longer was that? Were you walking, like were you walking slow? If you feel you have, it's definitely an easy one to repeat, right? Like it hurts, but it doesn't hurt that bad. Like you just got to push harder. It's definitely one of those, you know, I think all of them, are not total beatdowns that, repeating, it's definitely one if you think that you have a little bit more in the tank that you should repeat. Because I think everyone's going to be really, really near the same scores. So it's certainly one where like getting back on the rower in the round 10 is going to get you a lot of points, right? Good morning, Judy. CJ, if you don't think you should put down the dumbbells at any point, you shouldn't put down the dumbbells, Vera, at all. You shouldn't. There's not really a question there. If you did, don't be a pussy. Go do it again and hold the dumbbells. Walk faster.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. Because, I mean, really, you're not like, your grip isn't even fatigued for like 4 rounds, even a little bit, right? So,
yeah.
I'm
going to let you take that one. I don't know. Haven't done the workout and don't know the
50s are also not a, I mean, is there a 55 variation? No, it's just individual. Okay. Yep. So, yeah, I mean, 50s aren't, I mean, you should hold 50s for not even 200 meters, coming off a row. I mean, grip will be fatigued, but hang on to that dumbbell. Suck it up.
Now I want you to do this workout and then come back and say how it went
All right,
on
fine.
Friday.
We'll see.
Because
Okay.
you're coming back on Friday, right?
I am going to come back on Friday.
Okay, so then you have to do this workout in between now and then tell Vera how it went.
All right. I did a class workout yesterday with bar muscle ups.
Oh, did you?
Mm-hmm.
How was that?
It was good. It was
I guess
good.
so. That is a infrequent occurrence for you to take a class.
If I do CrossFit right now, I'm pretty much taking a class, which is still very little. Most of the time, if I'm doing anything on my own, I squat. I try and squat. Still, if I do anything, I always like start with squatting under load. I've just always felt like it's just like what does my body the best. And even if it's like 6 or 7 days a week, and then I'll just do a lot of bodybuilding or like sit on the bike when Bennett's playing in the garage. That's like the extent, or I'll go run.
Yeah.
But if I go to the gym, I'm hopping in class, and I'm going to take a class where I know that I can push it, and not be paranoid. But yeah, so it was a good one. It was 100 foot walking lunge with 50s, 10 bar muscle ups, 50 cal C2 bike, 10 bar muscle ups, 500 meter run, 10 bar muscle ups. It was good. Send it.
Say that again. Sorry.
100 foot walking lunge.
Okay.
With 50s, 10 bar muscle ups, 50 cal bike, 10 bar muscle ups, 500 meter run, 10 bar muscle ups.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, 500 meter run was interesting, but it was like a 600 meter run. Like it was like
did your brain like melt onto the floor with that rep scheme?
Well, it would have been 50. It was 100. So 110, 50, 10, 50, 10. So, or 510. So, I mean, it was fine. It was all right. I was like, oh, let's see. I hadn't done bar muscle up since the open, I don't think. Maybe like demoing at some point. And I was like, I think I can go unbroken. It was good. And I did. It was a fun one.
That's awesome. We did, speaking of squatting, we did, I think like 2 days ago. I guess that would have been the day that I got home. I literally got home and went straight to the gym because I was just like, don't even let yourself feel any type of way, because I had so much to get done. But all the way through last night. But today's a little bit less crazy. Anyway, we did a 12-minute EMOM of 3 front squats every minute on the minute for 12 minutes. And that I am
I bet you're sore
floored
shit.
by how sore I am.
Yeah, for sure. Adductor, super adductor soreness.
I was taken by, I mean, it's my quads that are just like, excuse me, what? So it was fun. And like, I think it went relatively well as far as like how much I built up to and felt comfy. But anyway, yeah, that one was one where I feel like sometimes you can look at a workout and you're like, okay, that's probably going to mess me up, or it's the ones that catch you by surprise. And for some reason, I just did not think that one was going to cause me 2 days of being a baby whenever.
Well, it depends on how heavy you went, right? I mean, did you go heavy?
I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, 36 squats at heavy low is pretty.
Yeah. Within 12 minutes.
On an EMOM, right?
Yeah.
30 triples, like what percentage?
I started just over 60%, but then I wound up, I don't know, pretty heavy. Cause I think they're like, if I can do it, I can do it repeatedly on a lot of lifts. So percentage wise, I wouldn't be surprised if I definitely was like north of 80% for sure.
Yeah. That's gonna be super.
For sure.
I miss front squatting. I don't do it. It feels funny. All right. What are we talking about today?
We got a few things.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do let's see here, about your athlete at the adaptive games and just congratulate her. And then we can kind of touch on, so the Summit Games, Tier Wadapalooza. I don't know if you want to go there first. I mean, we've got other things to talk about as well. But I just got back from the Summit Games.
Yeah, how was it?
And it was amazing. It was so good. It was my first year at that competition. So these 5 weeks in a row where I've got 5 different competitions, I've been to 3 of the 5 of them, and I'm repeating back to them. And then 2 of them are first time. And it's the first 2 actually. So anyway, Summit Games, they have been in existence for 7 years. It used to be the Iron Games. Now it is the Summit Games. And it was on a field at this place called Zion. Anyway, it was on a field, and it was very well run. The athletes, like they had masters divisions, they had elite, RX, intermediate, scaled, teams, solo. Anyway,
How many athletes total?
in total, somewhere around 200, I think.
Okay.
I think so. So anyway, it was super fun. And then I just have to shout out Gabe Garcia. He is another MC that does quite a few events. Then we get to work more and more together, and he just does such a great job. And so working alongside him, and then we had multiple other people. Tessa, we worked together for the first time. She's a newer girl, but anyway, and she did great. And so it was really fun. It's always nice whenever an event, I guess, is like well run, and then you're like, but I will say one of the fun things that I got to do, and I thought that the workouts, we looked over those before I went, and we said, okay, they're generally shorter time domains, power output, strong. And that was the case. But it also was a really fun showcase. Like each event was genuinely fun to watch. And they did a good job of progressing him down the field and things like that. So anyway, the one thing I got there, and then I knew that I'd be emceeing, right? And they were like, oh, and we also need you to do athlete interviews after the fact pretty frequently. And so that was a fun wear multiple hats. So, go on the floor, call the heat, and then step off and grab athletes and do interviews and then get back on the floor. And so like for me to just navigate that was a great experience, great opportunity to, I guess, kind of wear multiple hats at one time. So anyway, those were fun things. Yeah. Yeah.
I got to interject here. Sean, it actually says you can't use kettlebells. Just letting you know. Right here.
That's a worthwhile thing to make him aware of.
Well, don't put that score in because you're a cheater. Oh, all right. Just making sure. All right. All right. Just making sure. Making sure. You know what I'm saying? Typical Sean. Cheat. All right. Anyways.
Okay, so that's that one.
Sick. And then you leave like tonight? Do you leave tonight?
Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow. Okay. And then it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday for tier.
I think I'm there until Monday, I believe.
Monday, yeah.
Which that I'm just like so excited about. I told you this morning, I like watched the call that I wasn't able to be on because I was on the floor in Summit, in Salt Lake City. And I'm already over the moon excited to get to work this event, and watching that, I'm just like the level of leadership is just really, really impressive to me. And obviously like all of we already know it's a well-organized event and so on. And it's just like, whoa, you're playing a different game. So I'm super excited to go out there. And then also a
different game already. And then you're like, oh, now Tier, which is the biggest company that's ever sponsored in CrossFit. Like, I think Tier is bigger than Reebok. I don't know. CrossFit would know. I would say Tier is probably bigger than Reebok. Maybe not Reebok at its peak, but, for like the amount of money that they can throw around pretty easily is obviously like it changes the game, right? Like, and then they don't put money into the CrossFit games, which means they have a really big CrossFit budget because it costs a lot to be there. But it's cool when you see real money get thrown around. You're like, oh wow,
yeah,
this is nuts.
Yeah,
like,
yep.
Look at this. Look at all these cameras, these trucks, multiple trucks. Wow.
Yeah, it's gonna be a huge production. It's gonna be so cool. Yeah, I'm excited.
Cool. So what are you doing there? Are you just like filling water bottles and like making sure the ice bath is cold? Like, what do you do?
I will do whatever is needed to make it successful, but my role is MC again. Yeah. So I'm sharing a floor with someone who I have not worked with previously, but he's like an OG for SoCal or for Wadapalooza, Tier Wadapalooza. So I think I'm paired with Chris is his name. So anyway, I'm really excited to just be a part of it. it's like been a goal for some years to get back there working in some capacity. So it's super exciting that this will be what it is, and just a great opportunity to learn and be a part of something ridiculously cool. So
Cool.
yeah.
Sweet.
And then I will say, Mode Classic, I think that they just posted their page. But James Sprague had been talking since INW about wanting to start his own event, and he is doing it. And so I think that are you looking it up?
Yeah. How do you spell like mode?
Yeah, because the place that he trains is called Mode.
Mode. MODE. Got it.
Yes. Yeah.
I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it.
Yeah. So anyway, all the information for it is there. But yeah, I think that the qualifier is in November and the event itself is in January. So talks about what cash prizes and so on, but that'll be really cool. So I'm excited that he's launching in and doing that. And yep.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Reebok sales have been so I hear so I've also written so just side note. Claire is busy, but Tier, I think white labels like basically all the goggles in the space. Like they are the product like the manufacturer for like all the goggles you see at every like beach store and things like that too. Like they make all the productions like all of those cheap ones that you see everywhere at every beach store on the planet. That's what I've read. I don't know. I don't know how true that is. Anyways,
Yeah.
not as big as Reebok. Still a lot of money getting thrown around. That's pretty cool. Okay, so the Mode Classic is James's
Event. Mm-hmm.
James event.
Mhm.
2-day cash prize,
Mm-hmm.
regional style comp, 20 elites, 20. So it's qualifier only.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so they already have the prize purse.
Yep. Yeah. And speaking
When
of
is it?
uh,
November.
January. No, that's the
Oh, it's a
qualifier.
qualifier.
Yep.
January 10th through 12th.
Mm-hmm.
The time.
Yeah. Yeah, especially, I mean, Wadapalooza for Miami has now moved into the spring too. So for these athletes, they don't have that January
Oh,
competition.
yeah, I'm so
They
interested to
typically
see how
have.
that's going to go. I can't wait to talk about that and the sole money decision to get that money from Miami.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Um,
I hope they do the open because it's during the open. I hope they integrate it. I hope they do an open workout as one of the workouts.
that'd be awesome.
They need to. Like
That
they need
doesn't
to.
feel unreasonable at all. I mean, time
It's
will
not.
tell, but
They've done it. They've done it before, but not at Wadapalooza. Like when they did the rooftop thing with Frazier and whoever else, when Frazier set the world record of that 33:27, they were on a rooftop in Miami, and it was like Wadapalooza, like was the presenter
yeah, that's
of
cool.
it.
Mhm.
And I mean, you could even do like this is my thought. Like if you did, so it's like it's during the Open. I think it's the last week of the Open, so it's the 17th, whatever, maybe second week of the Open, and you could have the gauntlet be part of it.
Oh yeah, then that'd be
You
so
know,
sick.
the gauntlet be part of it and or just have the gauntlet be the open workout and then you're running hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people through it through the um uh through the like through the open workout, right? Instead of doing a 60-minute and then like people get to come back and then they do like the traditional gauntlet if you're top 10 or whatever it is, right? Like that would be I just think that would be such an ideal thing. I don't know if Wadapalooza wants to play ball with CrossFit though. I don't know. They've kind of been on the outs for a little while. So I don't know. Who knows? Okay.
I would
2023.
imagine by that point in time, we will have new information in
Mhm.
regards to ownership and details like that. And that'll obviously influence, I'm not speaking for them because I have no idea, but many people in the space as far as what their next move is.
Mhm. I agree. Aaron, if it's not an affiliate, how could you video each athlete? Are you talking about the open?
Mhm. Yeah, he's saying that like if the open is
You
having
would
to
just, I
be
mean,
an
you would just
affiliate.
like, in my opinion, you like CrossFit would give them like, hey, anyone who does it here, like, yeah, like anyone who does it here, you have a judge, those judges are registered and they get whatever, right? Like, I mean, you could easily do that, right? Like, no, it's not a CrossFit affiliate, but it's at this huge CrossFit adjacent event.
Mhm.
Like, there's no reason why they couldn't play ball together, right? Like, thousands of people are going to be there. you know, it would be really cool for all those people to do the open
Be so cool.
in a venue like this against 6 other people that you don't know, like on the gauntlet floor. Like the gauntlet was so much fun. I did it twice, and it's such a cool, fun thing. It's fucking hard, but it would make the most sense, right? Like, and I see no reason why, like Dylan couldn't reach out to Jenna and like, hey, we want to do this, and Jenna couldn't just be like, all right, let's make this happen, and like someone would agree somewhere, and it would be fine. It wouldn't be a big deal. It's like, oh, you did it here, blah 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 blah. Blah. Yeah,
Yeah. It would be really cool. Of course, like, I mean, there's nothing like doing the affiliate, or I'm sorry, doing the open in your affiliate, like being able to be around the people
right.
that you train day in, day out with, and so on. Like, there's nothing like that. But also, like, if you're already going to be at Wodapalooza during it, then what an incredible way to get to do it.
Well, it gets more people to Wadapalooza too. It's like, oh, I get to do week 3 of the open
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, like it, especially like all of the locals, right? The local, like a lot of people travel for Wadapalooza,
Uh-huh.
but a lot of people also, like most of Wadapalooza's spectators are local South Florida locals, right? I mean, that's still the primary, which is like still the biggest like congregate of CrossFits in a small area, like on the planet. There's like over 100 gyms and like 40 square miles, right? I mean, like there's crazy. Affiliated or not affiliated? I don't think so. I mean, I think you could figure it out. Like, oh, if you go here and do it here, right? It's part of it, blah blah blah. I think they can figure that out. I think it needs to be done by Wadapalooza needs to make that effort. Or I think um, there's going to be a lot of people not showing up on Friday. Like it's going to be dead on Friday. So yeah, Aaron's just being grumpy. I think it's possible. All right, James Sprague starting an event,
Yep.
which
And
I'm all for.
since,
That's great.
and hi, Judy, by the way, but I'm not involved at this point in that with any way. So just, I feel like since I brought it up, I'm like, oh, I'm not actually involved. I just am excited that it's happening.
You don't have to like PC your way out of anything in this show. Come on,
I'm
it's
just
fine.
saying, like, yeah, I'm working a number of different, and I mean, hey, if they want me to come out, I'll come out. But I just am excited about it.
Uh, we
Yes, we'll talk about
were
that. We can go there next
yeah. All right, we can go there.
if you want.
Yeah, yeah, sure. All right, let me pull it up. Cool. So Claire sent me this. I watched the Pulse this morning.
Came out in the middle of the night, right? Yeah.
Middle of the night. Hold on. It's going 2 different places in my headphones. All right. Okay.
Cross that.
Uh,
Oh, that's
all right.
funny.
I'm in Kauai. I came
Of
right
course you are. Of course you're in Hawaii. I think he lives there though, right? Isn't that where he lives?
I have no idea.
Anyways. All right. Well, if he doesn't live there, then WFP foot in the bill. But if he does, then all right. But I doubt that that's his house because whatever that is looks pretty nice. Um. Okay.
after 2
All right. You said 10 minutes.
and
Yeah, I sent you 2 timestamps.
in next year's season, which a lot of people are doing that already. You know, James did a triathlon.
10:55.
He did a 70 and are doing, and yeah, Copenhagen will have a little bit of that, so that'll be cool to see.
As far as like the schedule goes next year, what kind of preparation or thought are you putting into the athletes that are trying to juggle, compete?
I was just saying the same thing. Like, while it's not as important on you, so CrossFit said, who schedules media for WFP? Middle of the night on Fridays, or Fridays. It's not as important as like Instagram, but it's still pretty important, right? Like this is a 23,000 person page that's pretty active, right? And there's 140 views on this video that's been up for 9 hours. There's a problem here, right? Like fix it. It's not a hard fucking thing. This wasn't shot yesterday afternoon, and if it was, don't post it till this morning.
Yeah, I think there's been some post-production because it was clipped.
It's edited. It's
Yeah.
not live, right?
Yeah.
Or go live with it, which is also something that I think would benefit them in
That'd be cool.
general. But
Yeah.
like even if you were live in the middle of the night, like it would get more it would get more traction. But 9 hours, 140 views is crazy for like a thriving company or whatever event. If a podcast did a Dave episode, it's not Release. I don't know what that means. I probably agree with you. Okay, here we go.
Competing in multiple different competitions. I mean, there's not only just the CrossFit Games, but some people commit to things like the WODapalooza events, and there's lots of other bigger name comps that people want to participate in. Is there any thought to how you guys want to juggle the expanded tour season with all the other events that we anticipate happening?
Yeah, certainly. We've already spoken to a couple of those big events, and whether that's just trying to figure out how we can allocate points for the pros and challengers and teams and age groups that participate at those competitions, just to give them, obviously, if you go to Wodapalooza, you win some prize money, but how do we make them a more meaningful part of the season? Just using Wodapalooza because you mentioned that, but events like that, how can we integrate them in? And there's a criteria that they need to meet in order to be considered to be a part of the pro tour, as far as like the movement list, drug testing, the number of workouts in the weekend because of points earned, that type of stuff. The divisions that they serve, do they have age groups? Do they have teams of 4, which we're integrating into the WFP season next year? So as long as those competitions can meet the criteria, and we can
I just caught that. I didn't catch that the first time through. They're integrating teams of 4, like in the elite division.
You'll have to go back again. I also didn't catch that.
Them in, and there's a criteria that they need to meet in order to be considered to be a part of the pro tour, as far as like the movement list, drug testing, the number of workouts in the weekend because of points earned, that type of stuff. The divisions that they serve, do they have age groups? Do they have teams of 4?
So right there, do they have age groups? Do they have teams of 4? So is there, I guess, like, do teams of 4 qualify? I guess there's teams of 4 qualify for Copenhagen. I guess that makes sense. So there are like, they're teams. Like, it's not just the top 30 going to compete in Copenhagen. The teams are going to compete too, like the other divisions that are at WFP.
I mean, I don't think it's touched on any further in the. I can't glean enough from that little snippet to have a clue. Don't know.
Yeah. Also, like the criteria bit, like no one is going to adjust their event to fit your schedule, right? Like you might be a bigger dog in the space, but you are not the big dog, which means that like you don't get to make those requests and claims. Okay, tracking the teams do go. Okay. I didn't know that. I thought it was just individuals. So, I can't imagine that any of these events that make copious amounts more money than the WFP would be like, oh, okay, I want to be part of your season. Let me adjust. Like, let me add it. You know what I mean? Like, let me adjust my schedule or my requirements or something like that, or the movement list.
Well, and also could their criteria, I mean, like he didn't say anything about what it actually is. And so could it be very, very achievable, right? Like, could it be something to where he's saying that, but ultimately these different.
That's what I'm getting at. Like,
yeah, like
he's saying that, but it means like, I would guess, especially if like the comparisons or the names that he's referencing is Rogue and Wodapalooza, they're going to make the criteria fit Rogue and Wodapalooza. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, does Rogue drug test at the event? Right. So
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know either. Which means Judy, he said criteria 100 times. It means there's no criteria. Exactly. Okay.
We're integrating into WFP season next year. So as long as those competitions can meet the criteria and we can come to an agreement on some marketing stuff, it shouldn't be too hard to make that work, and then make sure that when the athletes are spending time and money traveling to those events, that they can get a little bit bang for their buck towards the WFP tour as well, is important to us. So yeah, we're actively having those conversations, and then we're actively planning our events at the same time. So yeah, a lot of opportunities next year for athletes to compete, and a lot of opportunities to make it to the championship.
Keep going just a little bit more.
Okay.
In 2026.
Let me ask you this: since you're in theory trying to partner with some of the bigger existing events for the tour stops to earn points, is there any truth to that rumor about some of the exclusivity clauses and some of the pro card contracts? Is there? Okay.
There's no truth to any of the exclusivity stuff. I think that was maybe.
So I just want to preface this. So he says there's no truth, right? But he only, in the next bit, he's only going to reference Rogue and Wodapalooza. He does not reference the CrossFit season, CrossFit Games, or use the word CrossFit, which is very interesting.
there's been a little bit of
Correct.
smear campaigns going on, if you ask me, and that's their job, unfortunately, to create false narratives, and they're doing a great job of that. And I think it's my job to continue to execute on the work that I'm asked to do, and maybe not listen to them all the time when they're lies. But yeah, so I think that is a complete and utter lie. There's no exclusivity. There's just not enough money and time and all those things to make these athletes decide. I think that there's amazing events out there. You know, the CrossFit Games is the history of the sport. Obviously, I made a career out of that. Rogue is maybe the best event in the world right now.
I totally missed it the first time I watched it. He does mention it.
Experience, showcase, lights, has the best athletes. Katie and Bill take care of the athletes just as good, if not better, than everybody in the space. WODPalooza is a massive showcase that obviously serves the community more than maybe any other event in the space right now. So it's important to not take away those opportunities as a W.
All right. Well, I mean, he said no, so we'll see. What do you think?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the first time that he's actively said no,
Yeah.
for sure, like on camera.
Well, I think he said something about like it's his job to not listen to all of that. Was that what he said?
Correct.
So, I mean, how do you not? I don't like you do listen to it. It gets back to you somehow, right? Like
Right.
not an ostrich with your head in the sand, right?
Right.
So anyway, I don't know. I mean, yeah, of course, people make stories out of it. That's how this works.
Yeah, it's media.
But that one, I'm like, wait, don't you want to be tuned into what people are saying, even if it's absolutely rumors? Wouldn't you want to have something to say in return like this? So I don't know. I mean, I love the idea of being supportive to the other events and so on, but I don't know that I have much more to add other than it simply came out overnight. And he did say in it that they're not trying to take away from those and may find a way to incorporate them. Like, I don't know that I have anything to add to it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be ideal for them and to somehow like use so there's obviously a lot of like stipulations or like red tape that would need to be figured out, but if the WFP could find a way to give points, oh my gosh, Vicky, I listened to everything on 2 times, just to be clear. Like 100%. If it's recorded, it's on 2 times speed. I swear to God, YouTube slows down recorded stuff. Like they have to record. And I also don't care to like digest every piece to like the nth degree. I'm not learning anything. I'm just like accepting some information.
Yeah.
And most people just talk really slow and have a lot of ums and likes. And so I just never feel the need to listen to it at one. When I watch Spin or if I watch Savon live, I hate it. I hate watching it live. I only like watching it live to be in the chat. But if I don't plan to be in the chat, there's a 0% chance I'm going to spend the full 90 minutes or 2 hours and not listen to it in an hour. So
it's also just wild to me to think about that. Obviously, I listen at 1.5 to 2, depending on who it is that's speaking and how much I can understand them, but speed things up as well. And it just blows my mind how much information we can take in constantly at the rate that we can. Like we've eliminated, God, it's a wild thing to think about how much we can consume rapidly of other people's ideas and whatever else. And we do, right? But
yeah, 100%. Yeah, Sean, I walked it back. I didn't hear him when I listened to that the first time. I definitely didn't hear him say CrossFit Games, so I'll walk it back.
When I heard him say it, but I didn't think that I heard him reference it being potentially taken into consideration with them. But was that what he was saying?
Yeah, it was. He just started with it and said that it's like it's where I grew or whatever. And so so there's certain people that I can't listen to on 2 times, right? People that are gonna be in depth or like ironic. Like I never listened to Charlie on 2 times because like everything he said, he already spoke fast. And so, there's like people that I would and that I wouldn't. And everyone in the CrossFit space, I listen to on 2 times. Every single person.
I think sometimes I don't listen to Pedro at that pace, I think.
Yeah, sometimes. But like for Kotler's interview yesterday, I 100%. Yeah.
That's the stuff you miss listening at 2x. Like, fair point. You do miss some things.
So this is I'm not a sponsored person or an ambassador. YouTube Premium is hands down the best $20 I spend every month, no matter what.
Yeah, you've said that before.
It's not even close, guys. If you don't have YouTube Premium,
I don't.
You can listen to it. Well, the best part is I can listen to it with my phone closed.
Yeah.
Like music, and I listen to like like I listen to music sets. I don't really like Spotify. I like live music or live sets. I listen to electronic music, and so it's like I can listen to it as like my normal stuff, and so you get YouTube music with it too. So, anyways, YouTube Premium, $20, hands down the best money you'll ever spend for sure. Lito, what's up?
Good morning, Lido. I
You're
guess
translating it
afternoon.
too. That's funny. Okay, was that it? Did we finish it?
Yeah, like I said, I don't think other than simply bringing it up because it's been such a topic of conversation. Are they going to? Are they not? And he said
Mhm.
something. I literally don't have anything more to like add
Yeah.
to
I
it.
mean, he
And
said no.
hey,
You
it
know,
was said.
we'll find out, right?
Yeah, yeah. So other than that, the Hiller video on the ring muscle ups or Justin Cutler going to hard work pays off.
I guess time for both. So Hiller made a video. Let's not search things. There we go. Let's just go here first.
You see Judy's comment?
So
how you can apply the knowledge.
that's of that statement, I'm two things about it, right? I'm glad you didn't know. That means that I do my job and we do it well. And two, I'm very surprised you didn't know. I mean, I'm really surprised you didn't know. Anyways, okay. YouTube Premium is necessary.
Moving along.
Yep. All right. Okay. So Hiller made this video yesterday about muscle ups.
Are you an average, everyday couch potato hoping to get your first muscle up?
Yep.
Did you click on this CrossFit video that
It was
getting your first
one. I did like it.
muscle up, and do you have the strength to do so in the thumbnail? Yep. Is there any hope that after having watched that video that you're ever going to be able to do your first muscle
You did
up?
like
Well, should
what,
never
this
say
video?
never about anything, but
Yep.
I'm going to bet that there's no
I
way
liked
that
it.
99.999% of the people who watch that video are ever going to be able to get their first free muscle up after having watched it.
Why not?
Is this true? Oh, well. And this entire video is
Hiller's really fast. Hiller's really fast to listen to, but most of his stuff that he does post, like I don't need a lot of depth, but I can't listen to Hiller on 2 times because he already speaks pretty fast.
going
Yes.
to be why I believe that is. Because like
Okay.
I said, it's for the
advanced
training.
Anyways, Andrew self-proclaims that he's the best muscle upper ever in the CrossFit space. I don't know, maybe. He's very good. There's no question. He's done 35 unbroken. I certainly think there was someone that did 30 unbroken on the CrossFit page from like South America recently. And he did 30 and it looked like he had more in the tank. I also just want to be clear that being the best at something 1,000,000% doesn't mean you're the best at fucking teaching it. There is almost no carryover.
No.
Like most of the time. The better athlete you are, usually, and not to take anything away from the athlete themselves, it's natural. And it's hard for extremely smart people or extremely gifted people to break it down for us normal humans to understand and digest and apply. So
That's why I will eventually be the best gymnastics coach ever because the journey that I have been on to figure that shit out is insane. Anyway, yeah.
Agreed. I agree. Yeah, I'm the fittest not fit person ever, which means that's why I was always a great coach. I was never really strong. I knew how to do all the things. My body just was like, you know what? We're just not going to take you to the next level. Thus, I'll just teach you how to learn all the things really well, and you'll do them nicely. You just won't be very good at the top end of it. And so that's how it was. And so I was always a better coach. Like from early on, I was a better coach. Like I coached baseball to younger kids when I was still playing grade school baseball. Like it was just like I just always was in that thing. So, anyways, anyone that has a Harry Potter reference is good in my book.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
clear.
Wait, also, Sean, now I want to see this reel. Anyway, I want to see that.
I think it might be the reel of those who can't teach. Exactly. I think it's the reel of him yelling at Katie, who's deaf. Like there, and he was pretending to be me, technically in that reel. All right.
You didn't know that? Are you new here? Don't want to listen to me? Take it from.
Okay, so basically, he reviews a video of CrossFit teaching the muscle up. Okay, and it's in his garage. Okay, it's a different one, and I agree with him 100%. I hate CrossFit's muscle up progression. it's terrible. It's very lackluster. Like there's just a gap.
Okay.
Right? Like,
So
go ahead.
get clear on what it is that you hate about it.
Here, we got to pull it up first. Let me see if I can find the L1 handbook.
I really enjoyed what I will say while you're pulling it up, getting to watch CrossFit's video, getting to watch him, and theirs was like less than 20 minutes. And of course, if you watch it faster, then it's faster. And then watching his as well. And as someone who this skill in particular has been like that elusive creature that I've recently gained access to, but we've got a long way to go to make it better. But like, I think there were certain things that he called out Hiller that were, I wish someone would have said things like that to me earlier about how challenging it is, or about how much your body weight matters. Different details that ignoring those
100%.
feels really, what's the word I want to use with that? It's just slowing someone's progress down, not telling them the truth, right? Of like, hey, those things are really, really important. You being really strong in these positions is like what you've got to figure out how to do. And also the amount of adipose tissue you carry matters, right?
Right. 100%. Yeah. So I don't disagree with
Lido.
what.
Sorry, Lido.
Oh.
Don't tell me that.
Okay. So CrossFit's teaching of the muscle up is basically teaching a support hold, making sure you can ring dip, which I don't think is the primary focus, right? But at no points, like, so let's just go through it, right? Support hold. This is the muscle up progression, which is fucking crazy. It's the same one. Like, it's they don't, and so I just took the L3, also a very confusing thing. They don't teach a kipping muscle up, but they sort of teach a kipping muscle up. But like the L1 is how CrossFit teaches a muscle up, which is like this hybrid, strict, maybe a little bit of a kip thing. But they don't teach a, right? So it's just here. So it is a strict. They only teach a strict muscle up, right? They only teach one. So anyways, here's the progression, and this is what the guy just went through. Support hold, which I think is a very important thing in general. Not really an important thing to actually do a muscle up in general. A ring dip, which is the second most important thing to do a muscle up. The false grip, like the fifth most important thing. And then the kneeling muscle up, and then do a muscle up. Hiller is right. If you haven't watched the video, basically Hiller breaks it down as these things are, they skip a lot of steps, and they only skip one step, which is the notion that you need to be able to do strict pull-ups and a certain number of them before you should ever even attempt a muscle up, which he's 100% right. Our prerequisite for WODprep, and with humility, WODprep has for sure taught more people how to do muscle ups than any program in our space.
I believe that.
And so our prerequisite is 6. Hiller says 5. We do 6. It's fine.
And so you're saying strict chest to bar pull-ups,
no,
or
just
strict
pull-ups.
chin over bar?
Just a strict pull-up. And so this is also the difference, right? One strict chest to bar means you can do quite a few strict pull-ups, in my opinion, right? So I wasn't on the same page as Hiller. Hiller said, so in the video, because there's no way I could find all the timestamps.
Yeah,
right?
sorry,
So,
I did not send timestamps.
yeah, it's fine. So in the CrossFit video, it says if you can do one strict chest to bar, then you have a good option. And I think that's probably not very accurate, but one strict chest to bar is definitely equivalent to more than one strict pull-up. They are totally different things, right? That is like a big difference. I think it probably should be a couple. We do 6 pull-ups. That's our minimum. If you have 12, you have a much higher likelihood of getting one.
Okay.
And then Hiller goes on to say that he had 20 plus, and then he could just randomly do a muscle up, which is very true. Young, strong, upper-bodied males will just be able to do a muscle up no matter how shitty their technique is.
Sure.
When they walk in the gym. As soon as they walk in the gym.
Yeah,
okay?
because they're strong enough.
Because they're
and
strong
potentially lean enough.
Yes, right. They're in
Revolutionary.
is important, right? But I also think it's just a ratio, right? Like your strength is X relative to how much you weigh, right? Now, if you are a lower body fat, like Hiller says, 15 to 22% or lower, and you have X amount of this, then it's probably going to be easier to do it. And this goes for females as well.
Mm-hmm.
Those things generally I agree with. And so I hate like going through this when I went through like the L1 online things and I was getting ready for L3. I was like, wow, this progression is terrible, right? We do now to say that.
And when you say terrible, you just mean insufficient. You just mean that you believe that we're missing steps to
No, I
actually
think
get
it's
you
really
to.
bad. I think it's not in order.
Okay.
I really think it's completely ass backwards. Like all of Hiller's analogies, which I think are a lot of the times over the top, and I think they're all funny, but this one, it doesn't even make sense. Like, I like the kneeling muscle up to just learn what the pattern should feel like.
Sure.
But there's no point of actually doing like any of the prerequisites. Like having a support hold first doesn't make sense, right? Having the bottom of a ring dip or doing a ring dip does make sense. It's later, right? Like, but making sure that you can support hold. If you can ring dip, then you would support hold, right? So
Sure.
there's not like it's there. The false grip technically
So you
should
feel like you would pull that out and simply just have the dip because the dip is going to include the support hold.
yeah, if you can do a dip, you can do a support hold,
Yep.
right?
Okay.
Now, so the kneeling muscle up is good for pattern reinforcement, right? Of like actually getting the hips to rise, pulling the rings to the bottom of the chest, and doing the big head whip, right? We call it like throwing the hat off, right? Like if you're going to like headbutt something or break the glass, which I think all of those things make sense. But that's where it stops. It stops there completely. You can't offload a toe spot enough for you to get the muscle up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so this is a great example. So Grant has only been doing CrossFit for like 7 fucking minutes and he doesn't know what a support hold is. Ironically, he does Hiller's program, who probably has never written a support hold. I write support holds all the time. I think they're very good movement, but they are not going to make you better at muscle ups. They are going to make you more comfortable on the rings in general and create shoulder stability, but they are not going to improve you swinging on the rings at all, right? But I do think they're great for shoulder stability. I program them for everybody. And so I think the false grip is important, but if you don't have the minimum strength requirement, you're never going to get over the rings. It doesn't matter. To be fair, Hiller has done support holds. Okay. Never mind. I'll walk it back. So he is right. He is right 100%.
Oh, here we go. Hang on. Pull this one. What do you think about this?
I think the banded ring, we do banded ring muscle ups. We do a lot of my drills are a seated muscle up transition. So it's a seated muscle up. I don't like the full high ring banded muscle ups because it's just really awkward. And so one of our main drills is a seated banded, which Carl Paoli did a lot of, right? But your feet are off the ground. So you actually have a kip generator, you're floating, you have to get a hip extension. You have to actually kip into it in general. So that's the question. Is I don't like the standing because you can't swing with the standing. So it's literally just a strict. Right. So like the seated, he did hate, Classman hated bands. He hated bands only because we use them inappropriately. I think bands are great. And I also think banded pull-ups are very effective if you're using them appropriately. Right. But
define appropriately.
You regress them over time, right? You get stronger, you use less band. Right.
Yeah. Well, and so when you say Coach Glassman hates bands, by the way, then so doing negatives and so on would be preferable, right, over banded, or you're saying a combination of both?
I think it's a combination of both. I do negatives all the time. I like chin-ups for strength building better than pull-ups because most people, to get there first, you get their chin up first because the lat is in a more like biomechanically advantageous position because it's a little bit shorter when the elbows are forward. Like the lat is contracted already. So when you're at the bottom, it's not as long. The
Right.
more we can get to mid, the more we can get to like our midway point of contraction, the stronger we are. We're strongest in the middle of every one of our muscle groups, right? We're weak when it's really short, and we're weak when it's really long, but when it's in the middle, it's stronger. So
and there's still tremendous benefit to strengthen it in the lengthened position as well.
Right. But it's harder. So if you're getting your
Yes.
first pull up, the chin
Right.
up is usually a lot easier for most people.
Sure.
Elbows aren't fired, the biceps are stronger, etc. Yeah, reverse grip. So supinated, chin up, whatever. However you want it. Supinated, chin up, reverse grip.
Sup. That's how I learned to remember supinated. Sup. Hands are up.
Oh, I was just soup. So a soup bowl, like a soup.
Okay, great. Soup, sup.
Don't
Don't forget it.
See you, Jody. So anyways, I agree with Hiller on everything except that this has no place. I think it has a little bit of a place. But I do think that the CrossFit teaching of the muscle up is crazy. Like it really Hiller's analogies were great. It was like giving a kid a loaded gun and saying go protect the house. It's just like, yeah, maybe it might work, but it's probably going to turn out really bad. It's like, yeah, it's probably true.
So in your opinion, with what's available here, it's just really oversimplified. It's insufficient to get you where you're trying to go.
Yeah, I mean, I actually don't think this would get anyone there that doesn't already have the strength, right? Like you're missing a ton of steps.
Yeah.
Right. And then also these steps are out of order, in my opinion. Like these two pieces are at or last. Getting over the rings is substantially harder.
Yeah.
Right. I like the false grip. I do like this drill at some point. This isn't a drill. This is the thing. Right. So there's no hip extension. There's no whatever. But this is all from a relatively strict pattern. And then if you look at even like go to the gymnastics course, right? This
like figure 3 there, figure 3 to figure 4. I'm sorry. Go down. Yeah, I'm like pointing at my screen. Yeah. Anyway, like getting there
to here.
Yeah, the middle portion. Yeah, if you've got there's 6 of her there, the third and fourth, right?
Right.
Like the amount of strength required in those positions for a muscle up is next level.
Yeah. 100%. So, I can resonate with everything that Hiller said there. I love bench press too. I think bench press is solely like extremely underutilized. I like the ring dip as well. Horizontal pressing is very important in our sport, even though no one likes it. Yeah, I like the false grip, right? Like I think Hiller didn't like it either. I like the false grip for people learning, right? The false grip allows people to just feel what it is, and it's a good starting point. So we teach the false grip at first in sort of like a really tiny kip. We actually teach arm bends first, so people can just feel the motion, right? And that's how we usually go. So we do like an arm bent start, and then with some speed to get the head through, right? Pulling to the bottom of the chest, tracing the ribs, etc. And then as they get more comfortable in that, they start lower and lower. Then they go false grip, arms extended through with a little bit of a kip. And then towards the end of the course, if they're getting it, then we start to let them go into the hybrid grip in general, right? And then a bigger swing and a bigger swing and a bigger swing. But we do that just for people to get the feel, very similar to how they do the kneeling to get the feel, but this is still a muscle up and you're still swinging. You're still having to create those timing pieces of hip extension to pulling to the ribs, to getting the head through, etc. Toe spots are futile for a long progression, right? Like you can't, there's no, like Hiller was right. There's no way that you can do this enough to learn a muscle up if you don't have any of the strength, right? Like if you have all the strength, you could probably kneeling muscle up your way into a muscle up, right? If you could do 10 pull-ups unbroken. Yeah. You know what I mean?
So then go back down to those 6 figures of her. So the third and fourth that I was focusing in on right there, like as far as your opinion of developing the strength right there, right? Because people often develop strength to pull to here or somewhere, right? And then getting that portion of it is usually the most challenging portion of the entire thing for most. It certainly is for me. And so your favorite things to develop strength in those positions right there, what do you think those are?
Well, she's breaking really early, right? Like, I mean, she's broke super early. Like we wouldn't teach this Like for her to get from here to here, can you see my screen? Oh, here we go.
I
Here to
can.
here.
Yeah.
There we go. From here to here
Mhm.
is wild. She lost her false grip for one,
Uh-huh.
right? So like she is doing a fault at this point right here, right?
Okay.
Like the fault is there, right? She broke really early. Her hands started separating at her chin,
Mm-hmm.
and she is not at the sternum,
Mm-hmm.
which they teach you basically to pull the rings to, really like here before the hands break. Like you want to trace the chest. That's how you're going to do a strict.
Okay. So right there, she's already faulted, and
But
you
she's
want
strong
her
enough,
to
so
be
it
able to
doesn't
pull
matter,
to her
right?
chest.
Like Julie's was extremely good at gymnastics in that time frame. And so they even talk about the fault, right? So there, and then as she pulls, right? So look, you can see
Yeah.
it. They talk about the fault. She doesn't do this.
Yep.
There's no
In that.
way she does this. She does this, and her hands are starting to break,
Mhm.
right? Because it's really hard to do, right? So, pulling like chest to ring pull-ups are very good. Leaning
Mhm.
back, keeping the knuckles together. That's the teaching point. Doing it seated on a band is also a good teaching point too.
Mhm.
Negatives, I love, like muscle up negatives are so hard, kind of painful, right? But even being able to transition from the dip
Sure.
to knuckles to chest and not fall. Like you see people, they transition, they just kind of let go, right?
Yep.
Like I have athletes that can do almost 20 unbroken muscle ups that can't do a
Sure.
really good negative because they
Yep.
just can't like get that motion into here. So working those are really good, especially if you can't do one yet. So and then just a lot of strength, right? In general.
Yep. Yeah.
Um,
I love it. I think it's definitely just something that, yet again, as someone who like it definitely spoke to me as someone who has struggled significantly with these things. I think that there were multiple things he called out that you've already addressed that I'm like, yeah, I wish somebody would have been talking to me like that. And you know what? Maybe I should be more clear, because somebody could have said something and I wasn't hearing them. Early multiple years of my journey, coachability was a huge issue for me. I didn't think I had the capacity to learn. So anyway, this is now talking about my personal experience, but like it maybe it was said and I wasn't in a place to be able to apply it for whatever reason. So anyway, it's a good call out of things that are helpful to build
yeah. Yep. I
those
liked
things.
it.
Yeah.
Sean, you can't do them. You can do. I've seen you do a muscle up. You've sent me muscle up videos. You just don't think they're pretty. I know you can do a muscle. You did a workout with muscle ups on the whatever. Oh, I guess those are bar muscle ups on Jake and John's thing. I can do a few. Yeah, and so this is where I think Hiller like misses the boat. Thank you. Is someone like Sean who has a lot of pull-ups, has a huge bench press, right? Like there is actually technique that's needed for stronger people, right? And I don't think like Hiller misses that boat in this teaching. He just says it's all strength based, which it is at its base level. To do one rep, it's usually strength biased, right? That's why I always say strength is the most important thing in the open, even though everyone says it's like to be an RX athlete, strength is the most important thing. Only thing that doesn't require strength is a double under. But all the movements that people are concerned about are all strength driven, right? At least at the I can do one rep concept, right? Like what makes you an RX athlete? I can do all the skills. All of those are strength biased. Every single one, right? Load the barbell to RX weight, do all the gymnastic skills, which are strength driven at their most base level. All of gymnastics are strength driven. Then to be really good, it's different. To do them really tired, different. Levels up, right? Even though aerobic capacity is at the bottom of the pyramid, to be an RX athlete, strength is at the bottom of the pyramid, theoretically. Well, second bottom, nutrition, right? Strength is there before aerobic capacity to do the RX thing. But then it sort of changes. And I think Hiller in this notion misses that. He just like says strength will get you 15 muscle ups. It will not, right? Like there is a lot of technique concepts there. And so that he doesn't go in depth on.
Yep. And then cross fat, be less fat. That's usually my tipping point.
Right. Yeah, obviously. We've said that before. We call it the strength to weight ratio instead of be less fat.
Sure.
I say be less fat.
For whatever reason with the strength stuff, that was one of the cool things. One of the interviews I did after the fact, so at the Summit Games, the teams one of them was like the owner of Salty Hive CrossFit. They had like
Mhm.
almost 30 athletes competing. So they had a huge turnout. And then a guy that he was teammates with back squatted 540, I think.
Mhm.
And so it was cool to ask them about that. And the owner was just like, I love training with this guy because he pushes himself. Like to
Mhm.
want that 540, the amount of energy, that he's dumped into it to be able to get there is insane. And so he's like training alongside somebody who just pushes like he does. Anyway, I don't know, that was a cool thing to listen to them talk about when we talk about strength and developing it, is like, you got to want it.
Right.
And that has to come
100%.
across in your day-to-day training,
Mhm.
the effort and intensity specifically geared towards getting stronger.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
What else?
Kotler's that hard work pays off.
I know. So interestingly enough, so I don't have the same sentiment that the YouTube space has on HWPO.
Well, let's start
Right.
with what is the YouTube space
I
sentiment?
mean, everyone hates them. Like the Swan World, they dislike. They think they're, I don't know. Hiller's made videos about them, and of like training in hell, etc. And like the Savan
Training in
World.
hell? What?
Yeah, like being in Vermont and being at that gym. You ever saw that video?
I mean, I've seen a lot of content about this stuff. I do understand that most have some sort of unfavorable taste right now, but I don't know the training in hell thing. I don't remember, but anyway.
Yeah, and so everyone thinks they're a joke. They just didn't want to focus on elite athletes, and so I think that really pissed everyone off.
Yeah.
And it annoyed a lot of people.
Well, I think what pissed people off to begin with was the Rogan interview, right? Like that was the first.
Yeah, I mean, I think that
straw.
was definitely a starting point. But then he coached
Yeah.
Mal, and then it was like, all right. I mean, Mal went there, and it was like, okay, they want to do the elite thing, and then yeah, where athletes go to die. And so, with whatever that was, they tried to do the elite thing with his buddy, Jake, who may or may not have been qualified to do that, right? Like, I'm not saying that Jake's not a good coach, but like Jake was a low regional athlete, and it was Matt's friend, and then just sort of started in that thing, and then so Jake was coaching really high level athletes like really soon, is what it seemed like, or in so, but whatever it was, like I know of them like not in the public eye because I have friends that have worked there and they talk very highly of them, and I really respect my friends, and so
Mhm.
it is what it is. But it's been clear that they didn't want to do the elite thing. There's no money in elite CrossFit, right? Like there just isn't, right? Coaching elite athletes only makes money on a trickle down effect, in the sense of you sell more template programming or you get a lot of one-on-one athletes, and they didn't have any coaches to take one-on-one athletes. So
then there is a lot of money in
there
elites. There is,
can
because of
be
what it can produce elsewhere.
if you're going to leverage them in that direction,
Right.
right?
Sure.
Which you have to do.
Yeah.
Right.
Which you would see someone or something like Proven having done a phenomenal job of,
Right.
and
Exactly.
then you would see other camps that there's room for improvement on leveraging it to get
Right.
that.
Well, Proven did a really shitty job at first, which I think
Sure.
everyone kind of forgot about. And they had a huge mass exodus after the 23 games, like a huge mass exodus. Like 7 of their 11 games athletes left the camp.
Wow.
And because they were understaffed, they only had 2 coaches, right? And then they were like, all right, let's bring more coaches in, which is exactly what HWPO is doing, which is exactly what Mayhem is doing, because elite athletes need individual design. That's what they need. Mayhem didn't do that. Didn't seem like Proven did that at first, right? They were all just kind of chasing Tia. I know Mayhem didn't do that. Like Mayhem still doesn't do that fully, because they very much believe in an iron sharpens iron mindset, in the sense of like they do a lot of co-training and doing a lot of the same pieces,
Yeah.
opposite of Brute, opposite of what, like I generally believe. And I think Proven doesn't do that anymore either. I think in games prep they do. But anyways, so a lot of people hate it, right? Or they don't like HWPO because of what Taylor has said, and all those things. I don't know any validity to any of that stuff, right? Like with whatever happened to Crash, or whatever Taylor and O'Keefe and whatever that beef is, or anything of that nature, right? All the stuff that I've heard from people that know O'Keefe personally, like on
Mhm.
I can call him at any point in time basis. So he's great. So
Mhm.
I have no opinion on it either way.
Mhm.
But they were very clear that they didn't want to do the elite thing. He didn't even want to coach Mal. And then he did. And then a bunch of other athletes came over and it didn't work out. Right. Jason went up there. It wasn't great. He tried to train like Matt. That's not how it should happen. Right. Matt was a unicorn in this space. And so, and then they moved away from it. And that company is crushing, right? They have golf, they have weightlifting, they have their like not CrossFit, sort of CrossFit thing. They're doing high rocks too. And I mean, they're making a lot of money. They have over 10,000 subscribers, right? And so that's what it is. But for some reason, they felt the need to they want to get back into the elite space.
Well, so Justin did talk about, and I haven't watched full interviews at all, but I did see him already talk about how this kind of came to fruition as far as going after an event. I cannot recall, maybe you would do which event it was that they were just at dinner afterwards.
Rocks Vegas.
There we go. And just had a human to human conversation. And so maybe it wasn't even necessarily that they were like, hey, we're seeking someone to get back in, but it simply became like, and that's my call out with all of it is like, I think this is a unique opportunity for Hard Work Pays Off, who has within the YouTube sphere, or whatever you want to call it, like they have lost a lot of love from like purists. Right. And so Kotler becomes an opportunity for them to like regain some leverage with those individuals. Not that that's even something that they're trying to do or not, right? But it could, because he is deeply involved at the highest levels. And so I think it's an opportunity for them. And then to hear him talk about like how it came to fruition is, I think, really cool, because here we are saying that having this, break it back down to our affiliate levels, like the people that are in your community, locally, culture, whatever we want to call it. Like y'all have each other's backs. You actually understand each other. You choose to do this thing that the rest of the world thinks is nuts, whether it's eat reasonably well most of the time, or whether it's train your ass off. When we step outside of our world, training hard is like a foreign thing, right? And so anyway, these are your people. And so I think it's actually really cool that Kotler potentially has just had some real human conversation.
Yeah.
And that then resulted in, hey, we want to support you, whatever. And he's in a position where he could receive some support and be able, so I just think that that's actually an awesome, of course, we'll see how it goes over the course of time, but like,
Right.
I wish them the best with all of it. And I think
100%.
that it sounds like the way that it came into existence is totally what we should hopefully be, or what I would want. I would want in a season of my life where I need some support to be able to receive it from my community. Like that's pretty cool.
And I agree 100%. But at the same notion, like they didn't do this out of goodness of their heart because they're going to pay him money. Right? Like they're in it to make money, and they saw something in it that was like, hey, maybe the elite
this could be worth it.
Maybe it could be worth it again, right? Maybe we can try it again with a different approach, which is what Mayhem did, which is what Proven did, right? And so it seems like, so this is there's a couple things, right? Why would they do this, right? They for sure didn't do this out of good of their heart. Like, we're just going to pay this guy $100,000 or whatever they're going to pay him, right, to coach these athletes and build this program, and it's not going to have a return on investment. They for sure think it's going to have a return on investment.
Sure.
Why?
But that's a good thing.
It is. I'm getting there. I'm not saying
Okay.
it's a bad thing. But why? Why do they think it is? Because they see the CrossFit space as now leaning in a better direction, which is good for me, because I think HWPO had a lot of money to start, and probably a lot of outside help of like advisors and things. And it's like, hey, now I think the competitive space might have some momentum, and I think CrossFit's moving back in this direction where it's like, hey, it might not die. So that's a good thing, and I like that. That makes me happy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I think I had a second point of that, but I think that's like the biggest testament to it. And two, they're not going to, like, no matter what it is, no one's going to pay anyone just out of the good of their heart, right? Like there's other reasons. They, an elite CrossFit coach only makes 100. This is a whole fucking conversation. But unless your athlete is winning money, real money, and you have, so this is a whole talk, but we're going to talk about this for
I know.
2 minutes.
Like, I actually want you to go.
So
tell them the truth.
CrossFit fucking coaches don't make shit.
There you go.
They don't make anything. Most of the time, if you see a face on TV, their coach doesn't make anything from that athlete. They coach that athlete for free over 50% of the time. That athlete doesn't pay a fucking dollar. And it is mind fucking blowing. The elite athletes in this space. Now, I know that Matt at Brute has revenue sharing and winnings percentages. So Matt makes most likely over 100 grand. Okay. I doubt it. Unless Proven is just paying them directly to coach the elite athletes, I don't think so. Sometimes, Judy, this is a sometimes thing. This is one of the biggest things that I found out when I was getting into coaching early, is that doesn't happen at all. So say you charge, the industry standard right now is $300 to $400 a month. So we'll just assume that someone's
for one-on-one coaching.
One-on-one coach, say something $4,000 a year. Okay. That's like the industry standard across all levels of athletes. Doesn't matter. It also doesn't matter what level of athlete you have. Everyone's usually paying the same, which also is fucking crazy. If you're working with that person in person on a regular basis, is insane. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, and that expands beyond the CrossFit space too, as far as like rates for
Right.
one-on-one coaching. Like that's
Yep.
not just a CrossFit specific thing.
Yeah. So if you go to the games, that athlete goes to the games and that athlete doesn't pay for your travel expenses, it costs you $2,000 to go to the games with airfare, food, and room and board. So now you're charging that athlete $180 a month because you just spent $2,000 to coach them somewhere else. Let's just digest that real quick. But no, Ed, you're wrong. And if they are making it, they're not making it from one-on-one coaching, because they're making it because Proven just has excess money from template programming, right? You have to make $100,000 a year. Most programs do a 50-50 split. Okay. L makes $100,000 a year. He coaches 50 fucking people. 50.
Well, do you know that he makes that?
I would guess just based on pure numbers.
Okay, so this is just a guess.
Just based, if you're coaching on average 50 people a year, charge $300, you're making 50%. That's even then it's close. It's like $7,000 to $8,000 a month, right? And so Shane and Kiefer also coaches a lot of high level athletes, but if Kiefer isn't in a revenue share, in my opinion, those athletes aren't paying $1,000. The athletes don't fucking make money. That's the thing. There's only like 30 athletes on the planet that make real money, right? Especially money to pay a coach over that $300 to $400 a month mark, right? Like there's not that many, right? Now, elite athletes, do I think they should get charged more? Yeah, I think you should charge $1,000 to coach someone in person every day, if not $2,000 or $3,000 a month, right? Because it's like personal training. You're seeing them every day for hours and hours, but they don't. They're either going to charge the same, or because they have 500,000 Instagram followers, they don't pay anything, and you make all your money on all the other athletes that you coach. And so then I know, unless somehow Proven is giving a 90-10 split, 90% to the coaches, you're still not making $100,000.
Lauren Khalil did an interview with Elia Miller. I have not watched the whole thing. They did post a clip from it, and Elia is amazing. Anyway, it's on her YouTube, and she just walks through in detail. So like I said, I haven't watched it in full, but they're giving context for what the conversation is that just explains like, in a recent interview I did with her, she opens up about the challenging decision to transition from a full-time athlete to a full-time work outside of fitness. She dives into the unfiltered reality of deciding whether to continue competing and barely make ends meet, or find a job where she can start planning her future. Right. So like just an example of a lived experience of a high level, an athlete that's made it repeatedly and been competitive at a semifinal level or games qualifying, whatever we want to call.
So how do coaches make money? When their athletes make the coaches good. I don't know what that means. Anyways, some coaches will enter into revenue sharing for winnings. Yes, that happens a lot. I know Brute does that, which I think is the right thing to do, especially if you're coaching high level athletes, right? Like, whatever their athletes make, the coaches get a percentage. Yes. And so it is, that's how it should be. It's not that. I know it's not the case in so many situations, like the majority of them, which is crazy to me. Right? Yeah. Other sports that CrossFit shows up against on ESPN, pro bowl. I don't know what bowler, lacrosse players, cornhole. Yeah, they have their job. That's the economy, which is fine, right?
Mhm.
But the problem with CrossFit is that you have to train so much that you can't do that. Most of these athletes, guys, are fucking living with roommates. They eat well, and they eat well, right? Because they have a sponsor for Factor or whatever it is, right? But unless they have a big outside sponsor or they're top 5 in the world, they're not making enough money through events to live. They have roommates, they coach at the gym,
Yeah.
or even if they're working full time, they're like training full time and they're not doing another job. They're living paycheck to paycheck on a very, very, very minimal college style budget. So
Aaron's comment.
what if you coach an out? They leave 3 weeks. Yeah, I mean, it's just I don't know. I mean, I don't know. That's contract stuff. I have no idea. Sorry. We told it. Judy, thank you so much for becoming a member. I didn't.
Oh,
I totally
yeah.
walked by this. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
My girl.
Yeah, and then the younger ones, parents are still helping. Like I know, that's not true. Some of them do pay memberships. It just depends on where you're at, right? Again, this is like, so coming back to the Kotler thing, right? Like HWPO has a lot of resources. They don't, and Proven has a lot of resources, and Mayhem has a lot of resources. They don't have a lot of resources from individual design athletes because most of that money goes out to the coach, right? I have learned from I talked to Tristan at Ascent, that's Hattie's coach. Like
Mhm.
they have a different thing where like they get some stipend from the parent, like the owner of the company. Like they actually give a stipend to the coaches to do some of their travel, but it's not all of it, right? Which is an interesting thing. Like we haven't thought of that in WODprep yet. We also haven't traveled enough to make it a thing. So it's not as lucrative as you guys think. Some people can make it lucrative, and some people don't, but a lot of unless you're at the 30 plus mark, right? But if you think about it like this, so you have 30 athletes, you charge them $300 a month, you make $150 per athlete if at a 50-50 split. We'll call it 60-40, so 180. Okay, so $180 times 12, right, is $2,060, right? 2,160. So, right, $2,160 per athlete per year. Okay, times 30, right? So we're looking at $64,000 a year, $65,000 a year. That's not a low amount of money, but it's not a crazy amount of money either, right? To get to 100, you need to really push the needle in volume, or you need to charge $400 or $500 a month. And so, so at the top they do, like they better be, but not everyone does that. Like I don't think Colton is paying for that. I think Proven supports their coaches to go when the whole team goes. But I know that I've asked athletes to pay for me to go, and I also know that I've paid for myself to go to certain events, right? So it just depends on the person or whatever it is, right? Like there's a lot of back and forth, and it's certainly not every dollar. It's not like a coach for the fucking Bills that doesn't pay for, it's like going to, down to Miami for Thursday night football, right? Like that's not how it's going to work, right? Or golf where like they just pay for their coach to come everywhere with them. That's not how it works. Yeah, I mean it's not, but I mean $100,000 is still like a very, very, very audacious number
For this role.
for coaches to meet, and I don't think a lot of coaches are even close to that at all. Not with just coaching. No way.
Mhm. Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's just an interesting thing to think about. One of the things that Dave said in his weekend review when he was talking about the adaptive games was just like how beautiful it is because like these athletes are doing this because of the quality of life enhancement that they have received and so on. And so they're just so grateful to be out there versus like, at the top level, then it's the motivators become very different. And so then I think for most of us that choose to go and pay a membership and show up to classes and so on, right? Like now we're coming down from that top level athlete, but we are all athletes. Like we do it because of the quality of life enhancement, not necessarily. But then, yeah, I mean, if you're a coach in the game, I think it's really insightful to realize that, yeah, the money's not
Yeah.
there.
It can be. I mean, but you got to work, right? Like
yeah.
I have a pretty good life, and like I've worked really hard to get here, and I've coached a lot of athletes, and I coach a lot of athletes, and so
Well, and how many years now? Like how many years now have you been nose to the grindstone on coaching athletes?
8.
Yeah.
Consistent.
So I mean, that's a
nonstop.
bit, you know,
Yeah.
it's
So, but like I've been fortunate enough, and Ben has been an amazing boss and business owner to me, and we've like, we've put ourselves in positions where it's like, hey, I can really, make a life out of this. And so, right, plenty of elite coaches have random no name. Yeah, it's for sure they do, but you have to do that. And like, if you're not making a lot of money, right? You have to have volume to make money, unless you just happen to be coaching one of the 10 fucking people that make money in events.
Which means
right?
that you need to like enjoy doing it, or that's like a, because the idea of someone making all of this effort while not being excited about it is pretty wild, because there are so many other jobs that you could do and not be excited about them and make more money.
Yep.
So the passion has to be so present.
Yep. Without a doubt. So athletes should pay. They should. I agree, without a doubt, but they don't, because athletes got no money. So, I mean, that's just how it is, unfortunately. Walking it all the way back, I think Kotler at HWPO is great. I love Kotler. Like my heart goes out to him. I can't even listen to his stories about Ivy. Like I just can't. Like I pray for them, like I have since I found out about it, and I just like crushes me. I can't even imagine like what they're going through mentally, and it sounds like she's just a stud, and she's like, hey, I got this thing, but I'm just going to go continue being a badass, and that's so cool and so inspiring. And it makes me really sad to think that like something like that could happen to Bennett at any time. And it like I can't even handle like stories of children like being in harm's way at this point. Like I just I'm like, my body's like, I can't do that. My mind doesn't tolerate it really well. And so I had to like skip through that portion of it, and I was like, all right, let's just get to the other stuff, because I can't. It's hard for me to listen to that. So I kudos to them. It sounds like it's the right situation, and I hope that, as like sort of what Hiller said in the HWPO is Google, they're just absorbing someone. I like that they're absorbing someone that is more vocal in the space, not kind of hidden behind their wall, right? And like,
that's a great
like point. I hope will bring them out. Like you can hate Matt or love him, but like, I mean, he is one of the most influential people in the space ever. He just is, right? And having him more forward facing is always a good thing. Having our elite athletes and our best evers more forward facing, like Rich and Tia, and Annie, I guess pre-Annie when she liked CrossFit, but like those things are important. And I think it's good if hopefully that can like bring out HWPO into play ball more often, be in the limelight, etc., and those kind of things. And I think that would be a good thing.
Yeah. Well, and I think that whole conversation before in regards to the financial situation that is real for the athletes, coaches, et cetera, like it does just make me then as a consumer who has loved it for so long, because of course, for me, it really was all the way back, 15 years ago, seeing videos on YouTube and being like, what the heck, and loving it from afar for so long. And then finally getting involved, et cetera. Like, the gratitude that I have for the athletes performing at the highest level and for the coaches who are right alongside them doing all the work. Like as someone who loves this thing, I love that they do what they do. And so wish that there were more money in it today. Would love to see and find ways to, I don't know, bring that to life more. But definitely, I don't know. I think that then brings it back to like, for those of us who love this thing, which is definitely us who are here, being grateful that they choose to do that, knowing that money is not the motivator.
Yep.
Because we get to watch them and be entertained and be inspired. And that's super cool.
I agree. And on that one, we'll end. I got to run. I got to get Bennett up, get to school. Well, I actually have to decide if I'm taking him to school. He's sick. So we have to like figure it out.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Well, I hope he's doing okay.
Adios, guys. Thanks, chat. Judy, thank you so much for joining. If anyone else wants to join, just click that button that says
Yeah,
join.
like, dude. Like and comment and
subscribe,
stuff.
all the things.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll see you guys on. I'll be back on Friday.
And
Claire
I'll be in
won't.
Huntington
She's busy.
Beach, baby.
She's busy.
Yeah, I'm excited.